Hello. I just have a couple of quick things to share. First of all, I'm learning to use my new MacBook, so that's been interesting to transfer from the PC to the Mac. I also learned today how to print on of my Google Drive, so that was cool too. So I've got a couple of things there I could share and teach someone else how to do that. Probably the biggest thing I've done this year so far is I decided to take my Twitter account and make it a professional Twitter account instead of a personal Twitter. So I was able to, I can just keep it more professional, and I can take pictures of things at school and post them. And I've tried to do a tweet a day, although I have not done a tweet a day. It's more like a tweet a week. I do a little retweeting. And probably the biggest fun thing that happened is that my tweet at the Royals game got on the Twitter ticker, so that was pretty cool. So now that was kind of an incentive to continue to keep tweeting. And then my friend Nikki Brewer, the library media specialist at the middle school, encouraged me to set up a professional Instagram account so that I could do book quotes like she's been doing at the library. And so she inspired me to set that up. So that is what I have been doing. So Twitter, Instagram, and my Weebly is now on my business card, which means that's an incentive for me to get that done. So that's where I'm at. And go Royals.
All right.
Anybody have any questions?
What's been your favorite thing about your new MacBook?
Oh, the favorite thing about my new MacBook. I'm going to have to say part of it is the display. The display is so vivid. I really like that. I don't feel like it hurts my eyes to stare at it all day if I need to. I like the fact that I've got my page open, whatever I'm working on, but then I've still got my icons at the bottom, so I don't have to close out if I want to open something new. And then the ease of Google Docs printing. I also like being able to access the RatePack portal. So I accessed that today. I tried out a lot of things today and played with it. I think the ease of finding networks on it seems to make it a little bit faster. So I'm kind of digging it. I like the battery. I like the slimness of it. And that's where I'm at.
Cool.
Is my time up?
Your time is not up, but we can be good for a little while.
So Ryan asked me questions.
Left.
Yep, 2 minutes. You've got the timer going.
I talk too fast.
Okay, talk to us about something else that you said about teaching in general.
Teaching in general. I am excited about some of the things that we're working on at the high school and middle school with literacy initiatives and just some of the great things I'm seeing in classrooms as I go in to watch some of my new teachers and just teachers in general, just seeing some of the cool things that they're doing and some of the sharing that I heard last night at the BYOD meeting with some of the middle school teachers. I mean, all teachers in general, but I was particularly in a group that had a couple of teachers in the middle school and hearing the things that they were doing in their classrooms. For instance, one of them was using the Vine concept to do a vocabulary. So instead, not using the Vine program, but having the kids create 6-second little videos like Vine. So that's something I think that's relevant to them, but then it gets them working on their whatever concept they're working on. That was really cool. There was just a lot of really neat things that were shared, I think. I think we're working on some grouping strategies to put kids in different kind of groups, and that seems to be working pretty well. We're doing that at faculty meetings. So I feel like that is been some really good positive things.
Good. Awesome. Andrew Higley, you're up. Good job, Dr. McElwain. He's the official timer, apparently. All right, so Andrew, when you want to share on your screen, you just got to click on this right here. And what it's going to do is do a mirrored effect. Just click off that and go to another one, and they're seeing your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
So can I log into my Google Drive?
Sure. Let's start sharing the screen, and we'll get you going. All right. So to do that, you just go over here under incognito, and now it'll be yours. Just type it there on Drive, and you're ready to go.
Sweetness.
So they can hear you. You're chatting right now. You are live.
All right. Hi, folks. I'm Andrew Higley. I'm a 7th grade social studies teacher in the district. I'm a 2nd year teacher, and I'm on the 2nd year cohort of the BYOD program. And today what I want to do is share a few different things kind of in the early stages here that I'm utilizing in the classroom. And some of these I'll be putting up on screen share just to give a little bit of kind of a preview of what they're looking like or what we're seeing in the classroom when we use them. One of the tools that I used last year, and this is less a BYOD tool than it is just a classroom management tool that I really liked a lot, and I think is probably really good at the intermediate and middle level, is ClassDojo. I like using that a lot just to do some positive behavioral reinforcement there in the classroom. And the kids really get into it with their own kind of avatar, taking ownership of earning points in class for desired behaviors and things like that. So another couple of tools that I will be showing today are things we've used recently. There is a website called classtools.net, which allows you to use what is a fake book app or program, not like fake book itself, but a fake book application where you are able to have students create we used a fake book profile with Greek mythology to allow students to go in and create a fake book profile for a Greek god or goddess or mythological character to take some ownership over that information, as opposed to doing more of a traditional based assessment over that type of material.
Oh yeah, we're good. Come hang out.
And I'm going to pull up actually the homepage here, where I saved a couple of links in my Google Drive does not appear to be cooperating right now. So actually going to pull up the homepage here. Is this sharing? From this particular homepage, just to demonstrate a little bit, we're able to use Fakebook essentially to let the students create like a fake social media profile for a god or goddess. They can, using Google Images, they can do searches for pictures or artwork depicting the god or goddess they used for their project or mythological character that they used for their project, upload those pictures. They're able to make a friends list, perhaps like an enemies or a frenemies list. They're able to make wall postings, and then with an about section, they're able to actually create posts. This is essentially the template before any editing, where they're able to load a picture for their character, a banner image or background image, any wall posts. Once they've posted wall posts, they're actually able to do comments or likes back and forth, just like they would be on a traditional website, social media website. The about section is actually just a word box where they can jump in there, add any other headings or information they might have wanted to. We gave students optional prompts for this project and rubric to really take some ownership of their character, like what their favorite songs or what their favorite movies or what their favorite TV shows might be if that mythological character existed in our world today. So that was kind of a fun project. And then thumbnail tiles, where they're actually able to upload from Google Images pictures. And we use that as an assessment item in our class to let students choose an individual mythological character to research and present. We also just recently, for a review activity, used a website called Kahoot to actually create fun kind of blended learning review games that students then were able to jump in and interactively on their own devices, jump in and take those quizzes. And in future sessions, I think I'll also use that to have students create their own review game activities to share with other students.
All set? You're good to go. Thanks, Andrew.
Great, thank you.
All right, guys, how you doing? I'm Jason Waltz, and I'll be chatting with you today about Socrative. I'm going to continue with sharing the screen, and what I'd like to do is just talk to you about Socrative. It's a great web tool, excellent for BYOD, by the way, because no matter what device the kids are using or the teacher's using, it doesn't really matter. It gives you the same interface. And so it's buffering a little bit right now to get to you. And Mr. Gooding, if you would let me know sooner rather than later if that is still going up there, that'd be great. Oh, you know what? That's going to be different than what's on the screen. You might check there. Give me a thumbs up if we're looking good on that. Okay, so you log in as the teacher, and you can actually sign in with Google, which is pretty awesome. Just associate it with your school district account, and then you're good to go. Actually, I'm signed on as Mr. Higley right now. That's awesome. Let me go ahead and back up real quick. Actually, I'll just go with his because it's the same interface. Now, what's nice about this is when you want to start a quiz, it's as easy as, just getting going. Now, it doesn't have any quizzes under Mr. Higley's, and so I'm just going to create one. I'll call this test 1. And let's go ahead and get going. I mean, multiple choice. We're just rocking and rolling straight off. And who is going to win the AL title? And then you can go ahead and bounce down and give yourself some options. The options, obviously you're going to have to include the A's. We'll call them athletics, the long form. And we're going to come down. We should also include the Royals, who we all know is really going to win. And Ryan Gooding, give me another team. It's another team name. Oh, that's NL, man. We got to go AL. Detroit Tigers. The bane of our existence, right? We're Kansas City rep. Okay, so at this point in time, we're just going to go to the 3 options, and I'm going to delete and bring that down so that it's only those 3 options. Otherwise, we'd have a blank one there. And at this point in time, we're good to go with that question. We can come down, add another one. We could go short answer and have the kids actually explain out who is the Royals' best player. Question mark. Now, at that point in time, the kids are going to be able to, when you actually assign this, they're going to be looking at just a text box. Now, you can add a correct answer to this, but I want to caution you on that because if you do a correct answer block, you're going to have to make sure that everything's spelled and cased correctly. And so you got to be real careful with that one. Okay. Now, I'm not going to assign actually a true or false one, or a right or wrong. I'm going to go to a true or false question. This question now is as simple to create as, are the Royals going to defeat the Oakland A's? Now, obviously, the correct answer is true. And so at that point, it is programmed in. The kids have to answer true to get full credit on that one. What's nice about these two is you can add an image and bring in that image and use that. Now, at this point in time, we just click Save and Exit, and we're good to go. It's kind of a demonstration of this tool. It's kind of nice because the kids can access this real easily, and the interface is simple to use. It also sends your stuff down to Google Drive. And when it's on Google Drive, it's in the form of a Google Sheet, in which case you can use it however you need to use it, and you're good to go. Awesome. Let's see. I have about 1 more minute. The other nice thing is this space race right here. I can't demonstrate it for you because I don't have enough participants to go on this, but with space race, what you do is it essentially assigns the number of teams that you give, and from there, the kids, as they answer questions correctly, regardless of to what team they're on, and it's not like it's a collective score, it's all individual scores, but as correct answers are given, it moves their team rocket further down the line toward the finish line. That's all for me. I am out of here. It's time to turn it over to Mr. Ryan Gooding. He's going to be chatting to you, I believe, about flipped classrooms. See you guys.
All right, thanks. Well, hello, I'm Ryan Gooding. I'm the Director of Technology for the Raymore Peculiar School District, and wanted to take this chance to talk with you guys about a couple things.
You go ahead and chat. I'll take it down.
Mr. Waltz is going to change some stuff around here, but first I wanted to remind everybody, especially this website.
Oh, you do want to be able to share?
Yeah.
Okay, you're sharing screen.
Especially all of those people, all those BYOD teachers out there. Just want to give you guys a little bit of a reminder about some upcoming changes that we're going to have to the wireless networks at Raypec. Number one, want you to all remember that RP BYOD is going to be open for your BYOD students as of tomorrow, October 1st. So we want to get as many of them logged in, all of them that have brought back the permission slips. Anyway, we want to make sure that we give them an opportunity to log in and sign in and make sure that their devices are actually hitting our network and that they've gotten in there. I think at this point we've got all the names loaded and that they're all up and ready to go, but we want to make sure that you take the time to show them that website with Mr. Waltz has put up for all of us, which is rpedtech.weebly.com. And I'm going to just ask really quickly for Mr. Waltz to turn the volume down on his MacBook because I can hear myself echo over here and it's a little bit distracting. So thank you, Mr. Waltz, for that. So secondly, I wanted to remind you that RPBYOD, that's going to be open from Wednesday until the following Friday. So until October 10th, students will have the opportunity to log into that and it'll be open. And we talked about the backup procedure for that at all of our meetings. But if you have any questions, please email me and talk with me about that. I also wanted to talk with you a little bit about flipped classrooms. We're going to have more opportunities for you guys as teachers to meet up with us and discover how you can actually flip your classroom and some successful techniques that you could be using inside your classroom to flip it. But I think most importantly right now, the most important thing that you can do is try to get your classroom organized and thinking about what do I want it to look like in my classroom as far as technology use with the students? What's that look like in a flipped environment? How am I going to assess my students so that I know exactly what they do know and what they don't know? So the real point where I think you're going to be most effective with that flipped learning is whenever you've got those videos ready for the students, you're expecting them to go home, you're expecting them to watch them, and then when they come back into class, what does that assessment look like when you sit them down so that you're able to effectively separate them out, put them into smaller groups, and have that effective small group instruction that I think is the key for flipped learning. It's not all about the videos. The majority of it is what are you going to do with those students once you get them back in the classroom, and how are you really going to focus your instruction to pinpoint the areas that they need that support in. So one of the keys that we found in classrooms that are flipping right now at Ray Peck is using clickers. That's been a really easy and effective way that teachers have used to find out those gaps in student learning, and a quick way to get feedback right at the beginning of the period so that you're able to separate them out and get into that small group instruction. And then putting together some real opportunities for extended learning for those kids that do get it. That's one of the big pieces that I think teachers want to hit on more, but maybe are unable to just because, number one, it's really hard to find the time to do that in your class because you're so busy working with those students who are struggling or trying to reach where they're trying to get to where they need to be. And also just to find the time to create those lessons for those students, I think can be really difficult. So we're going to, like I said, have a lot more opportunities for our BYOD teachers to look at flipped learning, look at some software, especially Camtasia, that allows you to do some screen sharing. And if you look at some upcoming opportunities, especially the Whatever It Take conference in January, we're planning on having a large session, a large period of time where teachers are actually going to get to sit down with their MacBooks, with Camtasia, and really create some lessons and dig into it. So I appreciate the time today, and I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I don't know who I'm handing it off to, but I'll ask Jason here and the next person up.
Are you ready?
I'm good.
All right. Thanks, sir. We appreciate your contribution. Ladies, would you mind?
Where are you next?
I'd like it to be that those of us who are here are actually engaged in it too. You know what I mean? So we've got our separate tweeting. That's good. You're tweeting good. I don't know how this is going to work long term. We want to have it where it's kind of an interactive piece too, but at the same time, I feel like it's so focused on the web stream that we're missing this interaction. And I don't know what you guys want. We can make it whatever you want it to be. I don't mind it still being web stream the rest of the time today, but I don't want it to seem like our whole thing is about the web stream. That would be weird to me. Yeah, the Twitter feed is right there. Good. All right. So, guys, it's me again. We had Tara Kelly set to come, and apparently she has had a prior commitment that's come up. So I want to come over here, and I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to talk to you directly. Not because I want you to see my ugly mug, but because I would just like to chat for a moment about Twitter. And, you know, Twitter is a great tool for a lot of reasons. And I'd really like you guys to really challenge yourselves and set some goals for yourself to begin using Twitter in a way where it's kind of like your professional learning network. You can do all kinds of hashtags. Just do a search of a hashtag like EdChat, for example. EdChat is such a good hashtag. Lots of educators from all over the world, really. I mean, mostly the United States, but gosh, all over the world. And they are just real quick to share information with you, talk about concepts. You get some of the biggest educational speakers in the world, some of the big dogs out there who jump on there and they are tweeting right there alongside you. And so I just invite you to kind of stretch yourself with Twitter. Don't let it just be that you stay local with it. It's real easy to kind of stay with those people you know. And I'd like you to begin kind of getting bold enough to venture out there into EdChat. EdTech is another one that's really good. You just go hashtag EdTech, and not only hashtagging your own posts or tweets, I should say, but also searching those tweets. Another really good thing to check into is the TweetDeck. Go search an app store or even just online for TweetDeck, because it gives you some really cool features that you don't have just with your straight Twitter account. One thing you can do with TweetDeck is you can schedule your tweets. So, for example, on the rpedtech.weebly.com website, I have the little Twitter feed for just our hashtag, and that hashtag that we're going to use is hashtag T2RP, T2RP. And so what I did was just scheduled tweets to come out every day at 8. I didn't even have to think about it. I tweeted them. I wanted there to be one every day instead of just, boom, 10 tweets. I had 10 days worth of tweets that I scheduled out. And it was really kind of a nice way to do that. So TweetDeck is a really cool tool. Plus, you can kind of set up your Twitter feeds, all the different hashtags you're looking for, in columns. And from there, then you're able to share that out with your own, through your own computer, share your information with yourself side by side and see that info in a way that's more useful for you. So TweetDeck is something I highly recommend for you. Another deal to do with your Twitter account is to try and connect in with teachers who are happy to join you via Skype, Google Hangout, FaceTime, things like that, where you can do video chatting between classes and kind of brainstorm that together with somebody, whether it be it on your team or be someone that you connected in with Twitter, and find ways to incorporate lesson plans that you can kind of interact and have your students interacting collaboratively through a video feed between your classrooms. You're going to hear some more about that. Hopefully those people sharing will come and share that tool with you. This is an awesome way to do things. And you're able to engage kids at a level where, gosh, without the technology, they'd never be able to do that, And so think through ideas like that, because connecting in at that level really engages them like nobody's business. When I've come in and students are doing this type of thing, and you can connect with these people, these other educators via Twitter, and then say, hey, I'd really like to do some video hangout together with our students. Are you down with that? And they'll, oh yeah, okay, well, let's check it out and see. And the students engage at such a level that you just can't replicate it. So that's all for me. Mr. Gooding, who do we have next on the agenda, sir? Carol. Is Carol here? All right. I think that means Callie McElwain is up again. Dr. McElwain is going to chat with you again about something she is so passionate about that it is so amazing. It might actually knock your socks literally off your feet. So she's trying to pass the buck here. Andrew, you want to share again? You got another 5 minutes in you? If not, I'm just going to keep going, and they're going to get sick of seeing my ugly mug. Who else is up? Are you up? Yeah, you are. Come on. You know you want to. Oh my God. Totally share your cute baby. The next, there it is. I'm going to turn this where they can see you until you come up here, by the way. They're staring at you, and they're waiting for one of you to come up here, by the way. I'm out.
Wait time.
Wait time, lag time.
Can you walk me through it? I mean, I'm not just gonna hold
Just look at the camera and talk. That's all I gotta
I don't
do.
know what you're doing.
Are you wanting to show them something on the web?
I can show them something,
Okay,
or I can talk about it. I'll just talk about it.
talk about it.
Okay, so one of the technology tools that we used in the classroom yesterday and today, we went to todaysmeet.com and used that to create a dialogue in my classroom. All I did was just ask them what they did over the weekend. They all replied to it. I took that. You can actually print your transcript. So with the printed transcript, I cut that up into pieces and had each kid then, for the language arts assignment, turn it into correctly written dialogue. So they had to add the quotation marks and the speaker tags, and they got really involved with it because it was their words in their work and what they had already created. So they had some more ownership over it. But that's a great way to use Today's Meet. Previously, we've used Today's Meet during math class for students with questions that they were maybe a little too shy to ask the whole class. So instead, they would just type it in on Today's Meet, and then I was able to, as the CWC teacher, be on there at the same time and respond right away without having the whole class stop and look at those shyer students. So that's the only resource I have to share, and I'm going to walk away and hope Jason comes back.
What am I doing? Are we chatting
I
again?
shared.
You shared. Awesome. She shared. I hope that was good stuff. I was ordering chicken. You guys who are over at this Royals game, getting ready for the Royals game, forget you, man. We're having more fun here. Actually, no, I'm really rooting for the Royals. Wearing my blue to support them. Big time Giants fan, but I had to root for the Royals today. Let's see. Dr. McElwain, you have anything to share? Because I'm going to start talking unless you're sharing. Okay, she shared a tweet. The other thing I'd like to chat with you guys about, and this is turning into the Jason show. We're going to make sure that doesn't ever happen again. But I would love to share with you guys about how to use Google Classroom, because Google Classroom really takes that whole share button feature and makes it simple for you. And so let's take, for example, if you were in Google Drive and
Okay,
you were
let's-
going to be,
Let's tag team this. So,
yeah, let's tag team. You want something to say on that
I'll
too?
help you. No, I don't.
Yeah, you
But-
do. You
but
got
I'll
something
jump
to
in
say.
here with you. Okay, so
Google Classroom,
you're Google Classroom, man.
right?
And so
Love
I had
it,
a question I had a question from a teacher today about Google
Okay.
Classroom.
Right.
Let's see if anybody here are wide resources. I know Amanda used Google
Amanda's
Classroom.
got it.
Okay, so you may be able to answer this question also. So I had a teacher today ask if they were concerned about as they're getting ready to do the report cards at the middle school.
Right.
Wanted to know easy ways to create assessments in Google Forms and tie standards to specific questions within Google Forms.
Super.
Have you seen anybody that's been able
Oh, yeah.
to do that?
Oh yeah,
effectively?
lots of questions with
And
that
how
too.
did they do it?
Amanda, how have you done that? Google Forms. How have you incorporated the assessment tool? Make it fast and easy for people.
Oh, nobody can hear you though.
Nobody can hear you. Got to come over here. You've stopped using Google Forms. How come? Let's talk about it. I think we're good. Thanks.
Edmodo is a whole lot easier.
Oh, you like
For me,
Edmodo? Okay.
In my world,
Why?
it's easier to grade assessments. All of the questions are lined out. It's very easy to flip through the Edmodo screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the score in the comments, and it's so much easier to give students meaningful feedback
Right.
because I can just type in
The little comment section at the
Yes.
bottom.
and
Cool.
leave them a whole lot of info.
So I
we
know
had
for
teachers-
myself.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, I know for myself, Flubaroo is something that I've seen a lot of people using. And Flubaroo is cool because it basically assigns those scripts for them and takes auto grading it takes your Google Forms to a whole other level, really, because the script automatically, for example, will calculate what's the average for this, or calculates what are the right and wrong answers for that. Now, average, we're going to get into funny issues, but when you're dealing with right and wrong, okay, which one's the right answer? Flubaroo will automatically do it for you, and it assigns it to an entire column, so you're good to go. How are we looking on time? 4 o'clock. You're up, I believe. Mirror up. You want to use this? So you're going to be showcasing web resources? Yes.
Not really River, no. We're going to talk about how you use Google Forms.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, awesome. Let's do it. So you're gonna chat. Man, we totally set you up for that. So I am sharing the screen, and then you can sign in. They can hear you right now. Everyone can hear you, and I'm gonna go to incognito.
So I'm good to sign in.
They're seeing your screen right now. You can sign in as you. It's on here. You need to access it there. Sorry.
So
And
access
do
it from here.
drive.google.com, right?
Hi, this is Carolyn Dean. I'm a district behavior interventionist for the Ray Peck School District, and I'm going to talk to you today about behavior collection strategies with technology. We talk a lot about how we can use technology for academics, but a lot of times behavior gets left out. So Mr. Waltz is going to help me figure
Sure,
this
go ahead
part
and
out.
chat while I do this part.
One of the things we do in our district, we are a BIST district, which means that we probably have some kids in your classroom who may or may not be on target behavior sheets, which is a BIST tool. And a lot of times what we find is those sheets are just filed away in a drawer in your desk somewhere. What we want to do is start changing that up and flipping it so that we can start using the data to drive our decision making about behavior. And to do that, one strategy that we use is using Google Forms to actually put your target behavior sheets on a Google form. So what it would look like might be something like this. And I'm going to just go ahead and get you into an example that I have for you. There's dead air time, Waltz. Actually, Jason Waltz was a wonderful inspiration for making this happen.
You can search for it up here.
Yeah, there it is. So, Jason Watts last year, when he had his BYOD classroom, started putting his think sheets in a Google form.
That worked really good for the kids, by the way.
It does. Tell me
It did.
why it worked good for the kids.
You know,
Jason.
because they actually sat down, and it's the goofiest thing when they're writing it down in paper. They hate it.
Right.
When they're doing it on the technology device, they're like, okay, whatever. I
And
mean, they don't love it, but they're still like, okay, whatever, no big.
well, and the cool thing from a district perspective is then your focus facilitator recovery room teacher could then look at what was going on in the classroom versus just figuring it out once they get there.
Right.
So this, it's a highly recommended thing to do, especially if you're a BYOD classroom. So this, for example, might be a form that you could use. You can see it's just two simple. Oh, you want to? Oh, well, look, the live form. Absolutely. So here's what the kid sees, and actually, in this one, it's the kid or the teacher. She has two target behaviors. One is to keep hands and body safe, and the other is to ask for adults or peers for help. And then it's just a simple, what class was it? And they submit it. Pretty simple. And then what that gives us is some wonderful data to look at to make decisions on their behavior and how they're doing. So that looks like this. And we'll just take a little look here to see what the responses are. If you go to form, somewhere in here, show summary of responses. So when we look at the responses, then that gives us a real quick graph to say, are we meeting our goal or not? Do we need to add more interventions? Do we need to change up the way that we're addressing the behavior? So instead of, once again, just filing those target behavior sheets away, you can actually use the data to make better informed decisions about what interventions you're planning to use. If you would like some help implementing that in your classroom, let us know. I'm Allison Scott or Carolyn Dean, and I think it is time for me to turn it over to someone else. Okay, Mr. Waltz.
Super.
There you go.
You did great.
Thanks, Waltz.
Makes
You are
better,
such a positive reinforcer. I'm
Oh,
so
is that what it is? Do you feel
impressed with
encouraged
your.
now?
I do. I feel
Oh my
encouraged
gosh!
to
Now, if you can
continue.
get some buffalo wild wings chicken, boneless, you'll be better.
Boneless. Did you order some of those for me?
I did actually. I have 12 of them coming. All right, you're up.
There you go.
All right,
To
just
take home.
introduce yourself and
Well, not yet. 'cause I
talk
can't-
away. And you just type in whatever it is you want to go to right up there.
Hey, this is Tara Kelly, curriculum specialist, and we're going to talk about Lumosity today. And so let me get on here first. So hang on just a second so I can get it up. It is a site that tests your brain. So you're going to go in and log in. And then once you log in, you put your email. And then after you do that, obviously your password. So in other words, so you're just, you got to see my password. Okay. So you're going to log in. And then what this does is it is training your brain in order to learn more about what you need help in. If you currently look over here, it says speed, memory, attention, flexibility, and problem solving. You can go in and you can choose exactly what you want to do as your training sets up for your brain. And you have lots of different, looks like it says here, you have 40 games to choose from on challenging your brain, and you get to see your progress and track your progress. It's really neat, the cutting edge sessions tending to just your goals and what you want. So the reason why I brought this up is because I think this would be a great tool to use for students in a classroom instead of using the DOLs or the DOMs or those type of activities that are just paper pencil type things and kind of boring to the kids. Use this to be able to have them work on patterning, have them work on solving problems, have them work on different parts of their memory, and you can see a big gain in this particular students. So why not use this as their morning work, or even assign it in the evening to do? It is free to some point, but there is some cost to it if they decide to do the full version, which is like $6.70 a month or $5 a month for 2 years. So that's some neat stuff also to share with you. So also I have for you regarding the brain, because I am the person that loves the brain, is a magazine or a newspaper that I'm reading. It's called Brain in the News, and it was talking about the discovery of dyslexia and how they're figuring out that it is in part of the brain that is on the left hemisphere, and they're finding out there's a little white matter that is related to dyslexia, and it is called the arcuate fasciculus, and it is arc-shaped fibers that are connected to that frontal lobe, and the larger that part of the brain is, then they're not going to have that dyslexia feature. They're going to be able to read better, but the smaller it is, they're going to have some dyslexia issues, and they're finding out that they're going to be able to show find out between birth and 4 months that a kid has dyslexia, which will help us in education to be able to, and parents to be able to know how to help this child and educate this child in a better way. So just wanted to let you know that this is a great tool for us to learn also is this dyslexic information that's really coming out. So thanks for listening, and happy technology and teaching. Teaching, rock on.
You're not up yet. I'm going to take this live, actually. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
And those napkins and stuff.
Chat.
So we're going to talk a little bit. She got her 5 minutes of fame here before, in just a few minutes, but we thought maybe we would, before she jumped on here, just kind of talk with her a little bit. She's a year 2. Well, she's a year 2 BYOD person.
Right.
She was.
Hey, eat these, by the way.
She was one of those people that last year kind of rolled the stink. They stink. He's sticking around your face. She was one of the people that came to the meetings last year and really participated and jumped in both feet. So we just kind of wanted to see year 2. What's that transition been for you, year 2, as you kind of worked your way into the BYOD classroom with the experience from last year and moving into this year?
I think it's been easier because I got to go through last year and I got to learn from everybody that was with the cohort with me and really get ideas. It's been really nice to be grouped with like-minded people for a little bit and really get to talk technology and how we can use it to differentiate and to expand student learning.
I think a lot of people, when they start off, really stressed about just how to get it started, how to get it rolling. I know I've talked to a lot of BYOD Phase 2 teachers who are, will come to you in private and they'll be like, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even taken my Chromebooks out of the box yet. So what do you say to those teachers as they kind of move into that phase of the important things maybe to set up in your classroom first, just some key pointers or something?
I have a hard time relating to that because I'm a jump in feet first type of person. So there have been a couple of times when I've jumped in and I've said, oh no, wait, and we had to stop and go back. And we had to just stop class and stop and talk about what procedures we needed to follow. We've stopped in the middle of class and said, okay, this isn't working for us. How are we going to fix what we're doing? For me, it was just really important to jump in and kind of figure how technology and having all of these devices is going to work kind of as we go.
So kind of just setting those procedures at the beginning and
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and transition. Leslie Waltz is here, my lovely wife, and she's going to be chatting a little bit. Welcome. And then we'll transition to Dr. Kilgore again, sharing about exotics. Dr. Kilgore. Hey, Georgia, can you eat one of these? Eat one of those.
Are they hot?
No, they're, what are they? Garlic. They're garlic.
Smells really good. I want some hot ones.
All right, Leslie, chat with everybody about whatever's making you excited.
Okay, one thing that I wanted to talk about was doing a digital boot camp at the very beginning of the year. There's a lot that you invest into it, but when you do, the rest of your year goes smoother. So it's kind of that 3 and 33 concept of 3 great weeks at the beginning, and then you have less that you need to deal with later as far as the classroom management that would block up some of the things that you do as far as mastering those standards and learning targets. So with Digi Boot Camp at the beginning of the year, I chose to use Google Classroom. There are a lot of things that you need to start off with, like teaching, for example, how are they going to open up a document that you're assigning to them? How are they going to submit a document to you? And then moving on from documents, which you might look at the lower level. When you look at SAMR, you might look at substitution and have a document there. Well, what I taught my kids at the very beginning was PDF Zen is something that you can use to annotate documents. So now take something like a worksheet that you would have used, and yes, this is substitution, this is SAMR, this is that level. But for those of you who might be interested in that, you can either take a worksheet that you have, scan it, and turn it into a document, and then have them open it with PDF Zen, and now they can annotate on that or mark on that and turn that into you. Or you could take something that you have in Google Drive, for example, or Google Doc, and either save as or print as a PDF, and then they're able to do the same thing. You can use that for entrance tickets, exit tickets, that's that level. But then there are other things, for example, GarageBand, iMovie, or Animoto, other things that you need to teach at the beginning how to use those types of items, so that later on they then have a choice. When you want to move on across and do augmentation, modification, redefinition, if they didn't first know how to use those items, whether it's Zondle or, again, GarageBand, iMovie, or those types of things, they're not going to later know how to choose between those different things to come up with that product to turn into you. So at the very beginning, spending some time teaching how to use those later will help out. With Google Classroom, it's fabulous because you start off and you've assigned something to your students. You can click the button to say, make a copy for everyone. So you start off with the classroom, you see what the assignment is. As they turn in their assignment to you, you're able to look and see these students have completed the assignments, these students have not completed the assignments. And whether that assignment was something where they were creating a song and the lyrics of the song showed mastery of the learning target, they turn in the MP3 there within Google Class. Or if you assign something, let's say you have a test that you want to give that's going to grade it automatically. Now you're connecting it with Edmodo, Edpuzzle, Educanon, where they're watching a video and you have some annotated, they're watching Edpuzzle or Educanon or something like that, and you have the video with embedded questions. You go into that document and you're going to grade those things, but you initially have them launch into it from Google Classroom. So all of those things, Edmodo that are self-graded, your multiple choice test questions, your open-ended questions, all of those things, you have your launching place being Google Classroom. They launch from it, they come back, they mark off that they have finished it, and that helps you with the initial organization of it. You still need to go in and grade the open-ended questions, but that's the same as paper pencil. If you had a journal, you're going to need to go open those journals and give interaction with them. You're going to need to give them feedback on that. So you're going to need to do the same thing, but the difference is with that you're not taking a wagon full of spirals home to have to grade. You can log on and do that from Starbucks, if you will, drinking your mocha, and you give them feedback. So whether you're doing S, A, M, or R, any of those levels, that initial organization and classroom management, setting things up at the beginning with the Digi Bootcamp is going to help you later on to go smoothly.
Awesome. Thank you, Mrs. Waltz. All right, Dr. Kilgore, you are up, ma'am. And I like that these folks are over here because that makes it where we can chat, but they're all right back there. Okay, let's see. Are you needing to stream the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Screen share and boom, boom. You're ready to go.
Thank you.
And I'm going to put it in incognito so that you can actually do whatever. Okay?
So I can get to Google and log in from here?
Sure. Everyone can see your screen.
Fantastic. So I am going to be talking about my new love of a program called Exit Ticket. I have found it this summer and just recently started using it in my classroom as a formative assessment method. Sorry, typing and talking isn't really working for me today. So I'm going to show you just a little glimpse of what I love so much about Exit Ticket. There are a few things that I kind of like better about it over other formative assessment tools. I love the feedback that I get for students. So hopefully we'll come up here. One of the things I love is the ease of use for students to log in. It took just a few minutes for my students to figure out how to put in the Greek code and get logged in to Exit Ticket. See if we can get this going here. It looks like it's not going to work. So we'll go this way. It took just a few minutes for my students to go in, put in the access code to get into my class, and then get linked into my Exit Ticket. And then it pops up from now on with them just having a nice little screen that has what formative assessments are ready for them that day. My absolute favorite feature of Exit Ticket is all of the teacher feedback that I get during the assessments. So this is the teacher view of one of the formative assessments that I have given. And you can immediately see that as the students are taking the assessment, all of their little screens down here tell you exactly what they're answering on each question. It's nice for me because I can immediately see who I'm going to need to touch base with during that block and who I'm going to need to intervene with. So in this screen, there are a couple of key spots that I always check. The intervention hot list down here, the superstars, and then my reteaching screen. Here's a little glimpse of what those look like. The superstars are going to be my 100%. They're going to be my group of kids that I know I've got to have some sort of intervention or enrichment ready to help them continue on with their learning. The intervention hot list is nice because I can go down and look like question 6. We must have had a lot of big misconceptions with some of my groups about question 6. And all of the student names would be right here next to their scores, so I know exactly who I need to touch base with. The reteaching spot is one of my absolute favorites because I get every question on there, and it's listed out by who got it correct and who had the wrong answers. Those are nice because as long as I've put in answers that would lead to misconceptions, I will easily be able to tell who I I need to reteach parts of the concepts too. And then the last favorite thing that I have about Exit Ticket is they are always up and changing. Their App Center has a lot of free features. They also have a lot of paid features that you can check into if you're willing to go that route. And then they have plans to connect into some other big major things, like they've got a plan to connect to Edmodo. So Exit Ticket is a fantastic formative assessment tool. I absolutely love using it in my classroom, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing it too.
That will require us to move over here. If you're happy to do that, cool.
Let's see who is up next here.
And so, Tammy, Sharon, Tammy, you're up. The microphone is going to capture what you're saying, but if you want to show your screen, that'll be out here. Does that make sense? So go ahead and have a seat. We'll get going. Okay, so introduce yourself and then start typing. It's still sharing.
Okay, I'm Tammy Novak, and I teach at Peculiar Elementary. I'm the digital learning teacher. And today I'm going to share with you a couple ways to make searching more effective for students. The first one that I want to share with you is called Choosito. That's CHOOSITO. And when you go to Choosito and you click on it, you will have to create an account, which is rather simple, but I just made something generic for my kids to use. T Novak, and then 1234. And you hit enter and you log in. The nice thing about Choosito is you can pick a topic like solar system. And then over here, you get to choose what level that you want. So elementary or elementary plus, middle school or high school. This kind of helps determine the level for those kids that are lower readers or higher readers within your classroom. And then all you do is click on search. And so when you look below, there are articles that are appropriate for those kids. The only problem is it is with the blog, it will show up as a blue screen, but that happens when you go ahead and search in a Google search as well, but it narrows it down more for students. Another feature here is you can do the same thing and hit videos, and those videos are here and you can watch them about the solar system and they're appropriate for the students. The other website that I wanted to share with you today is called kidzsearch.com, kidzsearch.com. This is thanks to Sherry Capper at Peculiar Elementary. A lot of times when you go and you search images for when the kids need to do a project, Google sometimes, even if you put like purple shirt, different pictures come up that are inappropriate. So this makes things that are appropriate for students. So when you click on pictures at the top and then you type in what you want, let's say I say Earth because we're talking about the solar system, and I hit, oh, I misspelled it. Give me a second. When you say Earth, and then these are all appropriate for kids. So it's safe, the images that come up, and you don't have to worry about inappropriate things coming up. So that's what I have for you today. The two were kidzsearch.com and Choosito. Thank you.
All good. Thank you very much. All right, Dawn, I believe it's you. You're up. Come on over. Now this is set up as web streaming right now, so everyone will see what's on the screen. Okay. Do you want that, or do you want to chat with them first?
I want to download the program.
Okay. They are listening to you right now, so you're ready to go.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and download a program called Zoom It.
And he's downloaded a program. Chat with us about it.
I use the program a lot at school when I'm showing students what I'm doing on my computer. It's like a mirror image. I'm going to download the program now. Let's see. It's a Microsoft product, so it's trustworthy.
Because I was just comfortable listening.
Where was it?
No, you get 40. You get 40.
Oh, so if they're at this front, are we going to be in that little side room?
Distracting it.
I'm thinking too. I'm thinking
Okay, so the program is basically you set up the toggle switches of how you want the computer screen to zoom in. Right now I have it for Control 1, so if I want to press Control 1 on my screen, it enlarges the screen so students can see at a distance what my screen looks like. If I hit Escape, it goes back to where I was. I can also use Zoom It to draw on text. So if I go to Live Zoom, I can use Control 4. I can use that if I'm watching a video or if I want to zoom in on something. I can do that as well. And then I can also, when I'm zooming, I can also click on other objects to make it live. Another feature that this program has is drawing. If I want to press Control 2, first of all, I can change the color of my pen by changing it to red, green, blue, orange, yellow, or pink. I can hit Control plus 2. You hit OK here. I hit Control 2, and I can draw with my pen. Also, if I wanted to circle something and say, go to your documents and then go to your EULA file, you can draw using your mouse. And another thing you can do is you can type. If you want to type words and have students look there, as long as I type the letter T, you're going to start typing. So if I go to hit Control 2, hang on just a moment, I'm in this mode right now, hang on a second. Mine's set up a little bit different at school, hang on a second. Type. Yeah, once in drawing mode, type T. So if I hit T, hang on just a second. And I can use my cursor to start typing. So you can use text as well. And finally, the last thing that you can use is a timer. If you use a countdown timer in your classroom a lot, if you want to use Control 3, you can use this timer for 10 minutes, 8 minutes, however long you want. If I hit Control 3, and there's an online timer. Again, this is called Zoom It, and I use it almost every day in my classroom. Hope you will too.
You have to get on the mic and say, Jason, go ahead and turn the volume down on that.
Jason, I'm done.
All right, very good. Next up, Andy Perkins. All right. Hey guys, listen up. Andy Perkins is going to be sharing, and he might talk to you, and in the process, you can hear.
I'm not gonna.
Come on, man.
He's like a play on.
Share with us. Cover it live.
I just wouldn't talk. I can't talk.
So whatever I put on here.
They're looking at it right now, and they're listening to you right now. You are live.
Where's the pause button?
Can you hear me
There is
now?
no such thing. Can you hear me now? Awesome. So Andy, talk to us about it while you're doing it. What are you doing?
I'm trying to log in, but it's not letting me.
Okay.
Hold on.
What are you logging into?
Cover it live.
Cover It Live.
Andy, when was it that you decided you wanted to start using Cover It Live in your classroom, and what was the purpose of it?
I started using Cover It Live after John Kuglin came to visit us last year. That was the one thing I decided to take. I had to focus in on that.
It's my go-to for interaction between students within the classroom, a real-time interaction. But I'm trying to get logged in here. This looks different from when I.
And it comes the other way. You can't scroll
Yeah.
right away.
I do that all the time. No, see, I've done it so
No, I need
long.
my other
Yeah,
ones
it works
too. I need my other ones.
So I didn't hear beyond Cougar. What was that?
Okay, so with Cover It Live, I use this. We do, for example, we do a warm up every morning, and this is just one way to use it. There are many ways to use it, but this is a huge motivator for students because of social motivation, because everybody can see what they've done.
Uh-huh.
And so the social motivation is there for them to get it right, analyze it enough to perfect it.
Right.
Is the best they can. On top of that, they get to see the good, the okay, and the ugly. And so they know what is a good answer, and they're able to start analyzing what made it a good answer immediately. So when I have them type in an answer to a question, they will type it into the best of their ability, and then I will ask them to find one, somebody else's that they feel has done, that they feel is right. And what that forces them to do is analyze people's work, and it helps them and allows them to see the good and the great, and also the answer, what they should not do.
Does it seem like the kids like it?
They love it. They're immediately engaged, and that social motivation forces them to stay engaged and want to show everybody something that's worthwhile. They want to look smart in front of other kids, so they try harder. It's pretty simple. Now, if I put this up there, they'll see this, correct?
Yeah, everything
Okay.
you're doing, they're seeing.
All right. So anyway, I have an account, and they're free for teachers.
Did you have to ask him for the account? Or
When you go to Cover It Live, they give teachers free accounts, unlimited everything, the pro account, whatever it is. It's free. I had to email them. I don't know if you still have to do that or not, and ask them for the free teacher account, but they'll get back to you pretty quick and give it to you. And then what you do with it is you set it up at coveritlive.com, and then you embed it in your Weebly account.
Yeah, this is awesome. Belton at its finest, baby.
That's on today. That's not the.
Now,
Oh, she's got to clarify. That is Missouri.
you need to make sure you have the moderation on, because you have to moderate it. Some very interesting comments might come up, and you don't want other kids to see that. So you set it up so you're the moderator. And you have to allow what they send in. So it's real Cover Live, and you get familiar with it. You go get the code, and once you've set it up, you go get the code, copy it, go to your Weebly and paste it in your Weebly, and then it's ready to use.
Good stuff.
Do you want me to? I don't think it's worthwhile to set it up in my Weebly though, because they
You can
won't
show
be
them.
able
You
to.
got. I mean, you got another minute. You don't really need to show them the setup process, but show them what it looks like on yours.
Okay, that's a good idea.
RP at 10.
RP
RP at 10.
So what my kids do is they go to my Weebly website, and I've
Sorry,
got
I'm
it
very
set up.
distracted by the yacht. Sorry, the sailboat got my attention.
It's the beauty, it calms them.
Yes.
Anyway, then once I embed it in there, it's in there, and I'll either push in a question or a poll or something. They have to type in their first and last name, of course, and then they will send in their response.
Okay,
and
so
then
the
I
last
allow
bit-
it to go in or not.
The last little bit I have for you is the question teachers always have, and they always have for me, they have for each other. How long does it take to get going on this, really, for kids?
Well, if they have Chromebooks, they open them up and it's about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. What about to train them to do this? How long did that really take?
I didn't train them. I just said do it, and they typed in their name and they.
And it's that easy.
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
There's zero training involved.
Do it.
I mean, literally, all it is type in your name and then send your response, and they know how to do that.
You're kind of a big dude. They're probably scared when you say just do
They
it.
are.
Yeah.
I'm intimidating
You're like,
yet.
well, I'm going to do it because he's scaring me.
But
All
it-
right. We're good. Thank you, Mr. Perkins. Mr. Goodings, who else do we have? Who's next?
Ashley.
Ashley, you are up, ma'am. Ashley Renfro is in his owl. Did I really just say that live? That's embarrassing.
That's what it should have looked like.
My son is he's gonna be embarrassed right now.
All right.
All right, Ashley, you're up.
That made me feel weird.
Did that make you feel weird? Sorry to make you feel weird. Glad you stuck it out and did it though. Oh, you're talking. You're just talking right now, actually.
Oh, dang it.
All right. Do you want to just share, or you want to show them something on the screen?
I'm going to show something on the screen.
Awesome. So it's ready to go right now. So introduce yourselves and what it is that you're sharing, and then let's go. Got 5 minutes on your mark. Say go.
Hey guys, this is Ashley Renfro and Chalet Gardner. What's going on, everybody? That's right. It is time for some tech. T2, baby. That's how we do. T2, that's how we do. That's our new mission right here. Okay. Today, that is. You're being an. You're being a protector. Okay, today we're going to talk about creating student-led portfolios through Weebly sites. So if you have your own teacher
Wait a minute,
Weebly
that was a
site,
mouthful. Say that again.
I can't.
That was awesome.
One time.
I'll have to watch that again.
If you have a teacher Weebly site, you can sign up for at least 40 student-led sites. And we made ours password protected so that no stranger on the internet could just, go to type in their name or whatever. So we just did this week, and I have a lot of wide variety of experienced students in my room from Mr. Bergen's class in 5th grade, Mrs. Waltz or Mr. Waltz class, to students who have still can't log on. So
Good thing there's two of us.
Hey, you're on 5 minutes. This is my time. Okay. So what we have done is we typically create like a today to-do list. And so my kids that can handle it go ahead and go through their to-do list for the whole day. And then I have some of those who will work on other projects. And then others will be our tech, what do we call them?
Technology.
Dang
it.
What do we call them? The techsperts. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Okay. The techsperts. Okay, and they'll go around and help everybody else that needs help. So what I'm going to pull up on the screen right now is one of my student portfolios. If I can get the password right.
Are you wanting mine?
No, they're all the same. Well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So what we had them basically. Why is it not working? I just pulled it up at home.
That's right.
And really, I wonder if she changed it. Okay.
Probably. Techspert.
She's one of my experts. Okay. Anyways, basically what I had them do is I went in and I had them create just the basic format of the Weebly site. So they have a homepage, they have a projects page where they've embedded posters from S'mores and some of their other projects. On their homepage, they have a Symbaloo that's helpful for parents. So that has all of their teachers' websites on it, their teachers' hot links for their lesson plans for the week. So parents can only need to go to their student's website to get all this information.
Blog.
They also will have a blog where they're going to keep journaling activities, and we haven't done that yet. But they will also have their live tracking binder on there. So I'm trying to pull it up. Who's another kid in that class? Who else did I pull up the other day?
I don't know who you were trying to pull up.
I was trying to pull up Sadie. Yeah, let's do that one. But I think hers had to have her middle name.
Well, we need to go ahead and transition anyway. We got Carrie
Okay.
Bryant coming up. I like that you guys share that. There's so much just in what you shared that's like, oh my gosh, the binder system. What was the other deal? The where parents are connected with it. That's I love that.
Because that's probably the biggest thing that we've heard from the parents, that they feel disconnected from the learning. So this way it's all in one site.
Yeah.
What's this going to look like for parent-teacher conferences?
That's what they're going to pull up.
Okay.
So parent-teacher conferences, they will have a website, or their laptop pulled up with.
So you can run several at a time in the room.
All right, we got a good transition.
Yeah.
Carrie Bryant.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Sorry, now it's up there. Sorry.
Carrie's coming up. You can talk about it until she gets there.
Okay, well, this doesn't scroll. Anyways, this is so the theme and everything was up to them. Here's their homepage. There's the symbol with all the parent information, blah, blah, blah. La-di-da. Oh, this one's really cool, the project that they did.
There's more.
Are you coming up, Carrie? There's their s'more project. Let's have to like scroll on this thing.
They need to put the Mac up here because we know how to do that.
I know.
All right,
Anyways, there you go.
All right.
Sitting in chapter, you're going to be showing a website.
I show a website.
Show a website.
All right, guys, I gotta go set up for the Royals.
See you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Royals game. Gotta go get the bar for the Royals.
Okay, they are ready for you. You are live. On your mark, say go.
I don't think I'm going to be as exciting as our last few.
Oh, they're going to be listening to you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you got Carrie Bryant talking. And Carrie, you're chatting about, what was that again?
I'm going to chat about Pinterest.
Pinterest! Woo! Which is blocking our school district.
No, it's not.
They're defending you. Look at that.
It is not blocked, and I have a technology Pinterest page. So I'm not talking about all of my personal ones where I can save all my recipes or all of those fun things. I have one that is specifically for saving all of my digital technology things, because on my personal page, it was becoming overwhelming as I kept saving it all in there, and I wanted to organize it out a little bit better.
Are you guys all on Pinterest? Are you on Pinterest?
Yes.
I'm not following her. I guess I'm going to start following her now.
Uh-oh, you're getting followers.
That's okay.
Nice.
So I will pull this up. It is attached to my school email, if you can find it by email for this one. So I keep trying to add different things to it. I will pull it up by my boards. So if you are looking for a variety of different things out there, from brain breaks, I have things for classroom. I'm adding things for specials teachers, art and music, different apps, how to incorporate your websites, the one device classroom, QR codes, anything that I find that may come in of interest later on. I try to use that one. Awesome. So it's under Bryant TC Tech, because my last name is Bryant. I teach at Timber Creek, and I'm the tech teacher. It was
That's logical. That makes sense.
very creative. The other thing that I will actually, I'm not going to show on here because I won't have to pull up my site. We have a Timber Creek Twitter page, and we've also started a hashtag that is hashtag TCJags, because we're the Jaguars. And all of our teachers, as they're finding things or retweeting things, they include that hashtag. And we've even had our parents starting to pick up on the hashtag, so they can follow that. They can add different things to it. So
set up a Twitter page. Just completely.
that is completely for Timber Creek. Timber Creek Jaguars and our TCE Jaguars. And then we have our hashtags. So all of the classroom teachers, for their pages. As teachers, one of the things that we've done to help incorporate, encouraging the teachers to use that is I've offered incentives. So for every time that they tweet during a certain period of time, I draw a name and then they get something for it. I think the biggest one was when I gave them an hour of time off last spring. I think in a week's time, we had 100 different tweets for our website. So that's it.
Thank you, Carrie. That was awesome. Gina, are you going to be sitting and sharing, or are you going to be showing a screen?
I need to show a screen.
Show a screen. All right, it's set up for you. You just leave it like that. She'll come in.
Okay, I was just gonna log out so that.
Oh, you want to show correct online behavior there.
There we go. That's, yes.
Wow, logging out prior to leaving. That was really good. All right, so introduce yourself, talk to them about what you're going to be sharing, and talk to these folks over here, and these folks will just kind of join in as you're chatting. I am Gina Cleveland. Hear me roar.
I am Gina Cleveland. I feel boring compared to the other people who got up here and made a ruckus. Okay, I'm going to be talking today about how I use Padlet as a teacher resource. Okay. Okay, so for Padlet as a teacher resource, I've been using it to keep my notes for when I conference with kids about their reading and their writing. So I basically just set every kid up in my class with their name, and then each date that I talk to them, I add the date and then kind of some notes on what we talked about. And we're just building from there. So more of a teacher resource, easy way to keep your notes for conferencing. And the other thing that I was going to share is KidBlog for
What's the second thing, Gina?
KidBlog for journaling.
Do you share the Padlets with the kids? They can see it, or is it just for you?
Actually, when I conference with them, they sit right in front of it. So
you don't share it with them, but
they can read it. They can contribute to what I write.
So do you let them make comments on it? Do they ever ask to make comments on it?
They haven't. At first, I tried to use Padlet in the classroom with the kids and found KidBlog to work better. So that's why I kind of found another use for Padlet more for me.
So Gina, when you use KidBlog, you like it better because you can control what goes up, or what? Why do you like that one better?
At first, I didn't like it better. I was kind of, Padlet wasn't working with kids, so I had to find something else. And someone suggested that I do KidBlog. And so what I found that I like about KidBlog is how I can comment on their responses and how they can comment on each other's. But I did have to find a way to set it up so that it was how I wanted it. Because I think people have it. Why does it keep doing this? Because I think people have it set up different ways. The person who showed me how to set it up, I didn't like how it was set up, so I found another way to set it up that worked better for me.
So you set it up in a way that works better for you?
Yes.
That's what I want to see, because I am struggling a little bit with the
organization. Are you doing okay pulling it up there?
Yeah, it's just the keyboard is different, so I'm kind of.
That is a wonky keyboard, huh?
She used her Mac.
Oh, yes.
You know what they say when you go Mac, right? You never go back.
You did not.
I sure did.
That was awful.
I worked on that one for quite a bit, too.
Yes, you did.
I really devoted a lot of thought.
You did.
No, we got
Okay, so the way that I set up KidBlog, which I don't know other people who use it if they set it up the same way, but I wanted it to look like an actual journal where my kids are talking about a certain book and I can just follow that book's journaling all the way down the page, and I don't have to go to each date to see what they've written or anything. So when I set up the blogs, when they start a new book, they click on new post
and they make a new post. But then every time that they're talking about that same book, they comment underneath it so that if there's several things written about it, I can see everything all in one row. And then when they start another new book, I can go to that book and follow what they've written about that book and comment on that book.
Sounds like a good way to set it up.
So each time they start a new book, they start a new post?
Yes.
Okay. So
Every time they start a new book, they start a new post. So, like, if I go to one of my kids' entries, if I can find it. Like Luke's. And he has written about several books. But then when I click on any of these books, if he's written on more than one, I can then see, like, there you go. He's put this entry first, followed by the next entry. So
That's awesome. Well,
There you
thank you
go.
very much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Next up, we have. Where are we?
Like an ocean place.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you ready? Go. So we're going to be talking whatever's on your mind and heart or whatever. And we can talk BYOD. We can talk whatever. You're right here, actually. I'm over here. So just introduce yourself to everyone out there. They'll hear you.
Hi. I'm Amy Beck. I teach 4th grade. Creekmore Elementary.
Gotta identify the building.
Yeah, Creekmore. Go Creekmore.
Awesome.
Go Cougars.
So chat with us. I appreciate you filling in. Somebody had jury duty actually on this one, and so yeah, you get to fill in for the civil duty. All right. So what's going on BYOD in your class? Talk to us a little bit about that. How's that going?
Good days and bad days. Today was a bad day, so and it sometimes depends on what the. Sometimes some days are really good, and we go, oh, this is an awesome lesson. It flew. The kids
Right.
kind of got it, and it's going to work. And then I can do the exact same thing the very next day, and it just falls to pieces.
So what makes it fall to pieces, do you think?
Today it was the internet.
Internet.
I started off with 2 lessons this morning, and the first lesson, they tried to sign on to the internet because we were going to do
no, there's nothing.
ELA reading with questions, and they couldn't get on the internet, so we had to go back to something else.
Right.
And then we went to do the second lesson, and the internet was still down. So we had to do a little bit of
words for you.
flexibility.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Nice. Nice.
So after the internet started working,
Right.
things got a little smoother, but it was so spotty all day that it was basically kids kept coming up and saying, well, my internet, I'm trying to type my paper and the connection keeps dropping in and out. And finally we just said, okay, just stop, just go read. And some days are like that.
Yeah.
And then other days we have it where they all got on, they blogged, they did exactly what they should, and we ended up exactly with what we wanted.
So like a glorious BYO day experience would be Wi-Fi's working great, and they go, and everything's awesome.
Yeah, where they're able to get on,
Right.
and only 1 or 2 have problems logging in.
Right.
And they're able to get to the website and they get the assignment and they're typing and we don't have the dropping in and out, and the assignment comes through and they just
Tell me this: is BYOD a positive experience for your classroom?
Yes.
Describe why. Because what you described is like, oh gosh, those awful days would maybe discourage someone. Why is it worth the trouble?
It's worth the trouble because it really does engage the kids. And I have found that the kids want to go further, and I have kids coming up and going, hey, because we blog about our reading responses. And they can, hey, are we blogging today? No, not today, but we're going to get back to. It's one of those, they really want to do that. And if they're wanting to think about how they're going to write in the responses and all that, I'm all for it. So it gets them much more engaged in what we're doing.
Ashley, what about you? Come back up here. What's going on BYOD? Ashley Renfro. Ashley Renfro. So Ashley, I want you to give your account, BYOD, what's working, what's not. Why is it worth the trouble? You can sit right here and I'll stand up behind. You're not going anywhere.
I don't want to see myself. I agree that the attention with the engagement, Ms. Gardner and I were actually doing some stuff for data collection on a student with an IEP, and we collected over a 20-minute period every 1 minute. We just basically did a minute-to-minute check. And on the days that we were on the computer, she was 100%. And on the days that we weren't, if she was either independently engaged in an activity or it was a daily lesson, then what was her, like 75, maybe 50. It was a huge gap. And so I have to say that the engagement is up when it's working well.
Yes. Gina Cleveland. Hey, Gina, will you come up too, please? I'd like you to share your perspective just on the spot kind of thing. And so you don't take off either, Ashley. What's going on, BYOD? What's working? What makes it worth the hard times? Oh, those are delightful. Because obviously we have good times and those are great. And then we have hard times with connection and everything. Why is it worth the trouble?
You don't really want to.
You're good. You're good. Hey, you're representing the Royals anyway.
Yes, true. Don't put me on the spot like this.
What about the different devices? Because I know I'm spoiled because Mrs. Gardner also did BYOD and she's a special education teacher, so I teach with her all day. So we almost have a 1-to-1 ratio. And the kids who are bringing in BYOD, I mean, they bring in their laptops.
Right.
And so it's
Because
very
we have the
smooth.
tablets, and sometimes you just have to say, okay, if you have a Chromebook, try this, and then just an extra set of, okay, if you're on a tablet, here's a little something you might try different.
So you have to kind of modify the.
You have to
activity a
modify
little
the
bit.
activity sometimes.
Do you think the kids still enjoy it or
Oh,
they
yeah.
check out?
Oh yeah.
But are these things that you know how to do or that the kids know how to do?
You figure it out.
You figure it out.
You
Both
figure
of
it
you.
out on the fly.
And then
sometimes you wonder.
I
about
always
the
ask.
person.
We always
People
ask.
figure
I'm like,
it
who
out.
really knows the iPad? Who really knows, the new touch Windows book or whatever it's called? I don't know this.
And do you ever find that you're without somebody who knows?
Not usually.
I usually do that.
Or you turn around and Google us really quick and say, hey!
Oh yeah, that's always good. Google it. Do you hear that one? Google it.
Gardner, how many times have you
It's true.
Googled something this year for like how to fix it? Like 5 or 6 times at least.
But Ms. Cleveland, I know you were talking about you don't have a one-to-one. And the device access is kind of a challenge for you. So share with us your account of over the noise of a cat going by. What's your experience with the lower number of devices?
Well, so instead of like having the whole room journaling
Right.
during independent reading time, we've had to make it where half the room's independently reading one day, the other half's journaling, and the next day we swap it.
Cool.
And the other half journals that day, and the other half reads that day.
How's that working for you? Is it smooth for the
Yeah,
kids?
actually it is.
And then you're not way behind on getting stuff you need from them?
Nope, not at all.
I also have to say that one thing that I forgot about towards the beginning is some kids, it's another style of learning, and some kids just really don't do well when it's not right in front of them. It's like those kinesthetic kids who need that paper to see. So we started printing off multiple copies of everything, directions. I mean, some kids just do better when they have a paper pencil instead of online.
Yeah.
So.
I will say that having the technology in the room has allowed me to, like, if I have kids who need accommodations, like they need their notes typed, I don't have to do it. I've taught a girl in my room how to use Google and you showed me how to have her do the outline format like we're doing on paper. And so she types it, and the other kids are still trying to write it. But if they get behind, she sends that to me, and I can print it out,
And
and
you
it's
feel like
not a
she's
problem.
feeling rewarded from that too?
And now I think what I'm going to have her do is I think I'm going to have her sit by somebody else
Yeah.
who is good with the technology and teach them how to do it. So now we're going to have 2, and then I think I'll have each of them teach somebody else. And so slowly we'll have more and more people in the room who are typing instead of having to do the writing.
Perfect.
I was amazed by how the students that do step up. Like the other day, we were doing something and it just bombed. But
Now this is bad bomb.
This
because
is a
remember
bad
back in the
bomb.
day when bomb was good? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
This is but it was where everything was going wrong at the wrong time
Yeah, right.
and all at once. But one of my students stepped up. She goes, one of my kids came with a question, goes, I can't get this. I go, well, I can't help right now because I have 5 I'm trying to deal with. And another student comes up and goes, well, I think I got that one figured out. And then she went around to every single student who had that issue and showed them what to do. So I'm starting to see some of the leadership step up, and the kids go, oh, I got this, I can help. And I'm starting to see some of that
Okay,
come
let me
out, and
ask
that
you a real
helps.
honest question though. How hard is it for you? Because we all know teachers, and we're kind of
Control freaks.
We're control freaks at a level. Do you find it difficult to let go of that and let a kid just do it?
When I'm overwhelmed and it's a bad day, no.
There you go,
If
right?
they want to
Go for
go
it.
go for it.
Thank you.
Now, during a time when it needs to be, we have a question on, okay, on the authenticity of it, if they're taking a test or something, I try to pull some of that back.
Yeah.
And so that's where I have to.
Do they seem to respond well to that when you pull it back?
Generally, yeah. Yeah. Mine are 4th grade though, so for the most part, yes.
Here we go. Can I go back to Gina in the notes?
Sure.
So do you give a student a copy of the notes that you're going to go over that day and she types them up?
No, she actually just types them during class.
As you're going over things?
As I'm writing them on the board, she's typing them instead of writing them.
And then she can just share them with
So
with
just
you,
to
and you
repeat-
share them with.
Just to repeat the question we get right here. The question was, does Ms. Cleveland give a student the notes ahead of time and then the student just types them? Or does the student actually take the notes and share them out? So will you say that again? Because
So she types them during class as I'm teaching and writing them on the board. She's typing them out. The other really good thing is I've been able to just send them an email straight to the students' parents.
Nice.
That's part of their plan.
Score.
Is that every night when they get home, they'll review the notes, and so I just send them to mom, and then she has typed notes that we did in class.
That's great too.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. I hear my grandfather say we're smarter, not harder.
Yeah,
like
not
on
at
our
all.
website, like yours, what we covered today and post them?
I don't. Okay. At this point, I don't, but that's a good idea.
That takes more time. Right.
That's a good
I
idea,
can get
though,
the
to
three of
post
you
them
just
on.
chatting all day long.
Because then if you
Awesome.
have a kid,
Really good.
Forget
Cutting and walls now, we just have this. There you go.
have daily.
Sure, Madeline?
Yeah, post them on what?
So the question was, where are you posting it?
So you could post them like,
On your weekly?
yeah, you can post them on weekly or put them on Simple with an attachment or something, yeah.
Right. That just makes it easy that way. That's good. I'm glad you asked that.
Running tally like today.
I also have to say that I think BYOD runs really smoothly, right in hand with the classroom jobs and the new. So I feel like we're kind of facilitating the new conscious discipline into the, not officially, but I feel like it's kind of coming that way to conscious discipline with classroom jobs and relationships, and I feel like that works really smoothly having classroom jobs with this because you have your tech experts and you have your kids who put away the computers properly and who can train other people and so on and so forth. So that's definitely classroom management. Take that off of you. You don't pass them out every day. You need to let go of that one. Yep. And that's when you let go of.
And have some, I have some clean them up and make them tidy.
I have someone who, like last year, the cords drove me bananas.
Exactly.
Oh,
And this year,
cords.
someone piped up and said, "Hey, can I manage the cords for you?" And I said, "Oh, okay." So
Yes,
every time, like
please.
we put them away, she's like, "Can I just go quickly do that?" Sure.
And
And so they're always taken care of, and I don't even have to think about it. And that has saved. And then she'll make sure we have all our devices and they're not shoved somewhere.
So this is just a kid who did
Yeah.
this? That's
And she
awesome.
piped up and said she wanted to do it.
Somebody
It's like,
else
you do.
that's a little afraid. Hey,
Right?
fifth grade this year. It's
Well, and what's awesome too is that
Or-
that is something that they get great
This year,
pleasure out
next
of.
year.
Yeah, she's fourth this
They're
year.
getting that
Oh, I thought
contribution
you
out of
said
it.
last year. This
No, this is this year.
Okay.
She's in my class now. Last year they drove me nuts.
Does anyone else want to jump up and share their thoughts on BYOD before we wrap up? Tammy, you know you do. I know you've got plenty to share.
Has anyone used Padlet?
Padlet.
yes.
We talked about that.
It's on there. Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, thank you for coming out. Leave nice tips. Thank you, Buffalo Wild Wings. That was pretty cool. I got a tip for you. Royals win. So for those of you joining us by webcast, we will meet again October 15th. May shift it up a little bit. Don't know how it's going to look. It's going to be a growing, evolving kind of meeting. Hopefully this worked for you. We tried, gave it our best college effort. But our next meeting is going to be Jose Peppers. And Jose Peppers, we will be indoors, so we won't get the cat going by making all the noise. Hopefully they'll be done with that job by then. Yeah, right. And so join us then. Come by Josie Peppers if you can. Support the local business. Plus, you get to see everybody face to face and eat some good food. But if you're not able to, join us by web stream. See ya.